Shalom Kehila Yikara. My name is Galit Dadoun-Cohen and I'm the Cantor serving the Temple B'nai Or community in Morristown, New Jersey. Parashat Kedoshim sits at the very heart of our Torah. Wedged between detailed explanations of the sacrificial rite and various discussions on the roles of the priests, Kedoshim, of the Hebrew root Kuf Daled Shin, meaning holy, describes what we refer to as the holiness code. In the very center of that parasha, the heart of it all, is the unforgettable verse that is said to be the whole Torah, Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. I even bought the t-shirt in Shuk Carmel in my last visit to Israel. These words, Rabbi Hillel taught, are indeed the whole Torah, and if one wanted to learn it while standing on one foot, as the Midrash suggests, this would be it, and the rest is commentary. Again and again, we are taught that understanding the other, having empathy, and seeing the situation from the perspective of the other matters most. This idea brings us back to our humblest beginnings, to our formative memory as a people, reiterating that we were once a stranger in Mitzrayim, our narrow place, Egypt. The Bit of Torah model gives us an opportunity to dwell in wisdom contained in a single moment of Torah. We are infinitely grateful for Federation that continues to provide opportunities for all of us at Metro West to gather around learning in such an accessible and relevant way. If we can take a single moment to study Torah, we can increase and enrich our lives with the wisdom and story of our people's journey. Leviticus 19, verse 18, Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, you shall love the other, is preceded by the words, Lo tikom ve'lo titor et b'nei amecha. It is forbidden to return an act of aggression with another one, or take revenge against another. It is even forbidden for us to hold rancorous feelings for an act of aggression that was done to us. The verse, Lo tikom ve'lo titor et b'nei amecha, teaches we are all vulnerable and need to grapple with angry feelings. Not only the more visible acting or not acting on our feelings of anger, but also our capacity to manage our inner feelings of resentment. Each one of us can become angry and either act in this way or hold on to such feelings. Jewish wisdom teaches us that it is human to get angry because even God can get angry at times. And the question becomes then, what do we do? In his famous compendium commentary, Mishneh Torah, Rambam teaches that we should always walk in the ways of moderation. We should try to avoid feeling extreme anger, but on the other hand, not remain indifferent or aloof either. Rambam brilliantly recognizes that a complete lack of response is bound to emerge elsewhere. He also admits that to motivate a change, a demonstration of anger without becoming incensed is sometimes necessary, as long as we aim to remain calm inside. He also recognizes that sometimes to bring change, we may need to feel strongly and respond. Acknowledging or noticing our feelings, whether we act on them or not, is an important step in the right direction. We are all struggling with what feels like a harsh reality these days. We are witnessing human cruelty take place before our very eyes in the war in Ukraine. Last week, we witnessed senseless killings and violence in Israel, and we often feel like we are surrounded by people who are acting in anger or impatience. We are surrounded by the brokenness of our world. The Holiness Code teaches us that to cope, we need to listen, we need to forgive, and not to hold a grudge. We need to find ways to let go. If we don't agree or believe that we are wronged, we need to take a moment to find space and eventually act with compassion. Finding empathy and trying to understand the perspective of the other person will ultimately lead us to reach a state of shalom or shlemut, wholeness and peace within our own hearts, our people, and indeed the entire universe.